Welcome to our channel. Today we are going to study a part of biology known as bacteria. We are going to study this part with questions and answers for a better understanding. The first question we have here says, the microorganisms that are prokaryotic in nature are called dash. A. Protozoa. B. Bacteria. C. Fungi. D. Nematodes. In this question, the correct answer is B. Bacteria. Bacteria are microorganisms that are prokaryotic in nature. Prokaryotic organisms are those organisms that don't have well-defined nuclei in their cells, and bacteria are examples of organisms that are prokaryotic in nature. The next question says, the capsule or the cell wall of bacteria protects them from dash. A. Dehydration. B. Hemolysis. C. Movement. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Dehydration. Studies have shown in bacteriological studies, or research have shown in bacteriology, that bacteria have cell walls, and this cell wall contain capsule. So this capsule on the cell wall of bacteria is protective in function, in the sense that the capsule protects them from dehydration in their environment. So the capsule ensures that water is not lost in the cells of these bacteria. So the capsule on the cell wall of bacteria protects them from dehydration. And this capsule of bacteria also help them to attach on their host successfully. The next question says, bacteria that obtain their energy from chemical compounds are called dash. A. Chemotrophs. B. Auxotrophs. C. Lithotrophs. D. Phototrophs. In this question, the correct answer is A. Chemotrophs. Chemotrophs are those bacteria that obtain their energy from chemical compounds. Studies have shown that some bacteria obtain their energy from the chemical reactions or from chemical substances. So these bacteria that obtain their energy from chemical compounds are called chemotrophs. The next question says, halophilic bacteria are bacteria that survive in an environment of dash. A. Low sugar concentration. B. High salt concentration. C. Zero sugar concentration. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is B. High salt concentration. There are bacteria called halophiles or halophilic bacteria. Studies have shown that these bacteria survive in environments that have high salt concentration. So those bacteria that have the ability of surviving in an environment of high salt concentration are called halophilic bacteria. The next question says, the bacteria that are rod-like in shape are called dash. A. Staphylococci. B. Streptococci. C. Bacilli. D. Vibrose. In this question, the correct answer is C. Bacilli. Bacilli are bacteria that are rod-like in shape. Scientists have used microscope to study these bacteria and they discovered that they are rod-like in shape. So all the bacteria that are rod-like in shape are called bacilli. The next question says, the presence of a membrane-enclosed nucleus is a characteristic of dash. A. Fungi. B. Bacteria. C. Viruses. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is B. Bacteria. So the presence of a membrane-enclosed nucleus is a characteristic of bacteria. Bacteria have different structures in them, and the presence of a membrane-enclosed nucleus is one of the features of bacteria. The next question says, the use of bacteria and other microorganisms to clean up pollutants is best described as dash. A. Bioremediation. B. Hemolysis. C. Plasmolysis. D. Osmosis. In this question, the correct answer is A. Bioremediation. Bioremediation is the use of bacteria and other microorganisms to clean up different pollutants in the environment. Studies have shown that in the field of agriculture, there are some bacteria that can be used to remove different harmful substances in the soil in order to make the soil to be pure. So this use of bacteria and some other microorganisms to clean up pollutants in the environment is best described as bioremediation. It's one of the relevance of bacteria to humanity. It's one of the benefits of bacteria to the environment. The next question says, the first organisms that oxygenated the atmosphere were dash. A. Viruses. B. Fungi. C. Nematodes. D. Cyanobacteria. In this question, the correct answer is D. Cyanobacteria. These cyanobacteria are the first organisms that oxygenated the atmosphere. Studies have shown that cyanobacteria are the primitive microorganisms that oxygenated the atmosphere. The next question says, the bacteria that survive in the absence of oxygen are called dash. A. Aerobic bacteria. B. Anaerobic bacteria. C. All of the above. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is B. Anaerobic bacteria. Anaerobic bacteria are those bacteria that survive in the absence of oxygen. So this type of bacteria called anaerobic bacteria can survive in the absence of oxygen. In fact, the presence of oxygen in the cells of these bacteria is poisonous to them. So these bacteria don't need oxygen for survival. They can survive in their environment in the absence of oxygen. The next question says, based on the reaction of bacterial cells to Gram stain, bacteria are classified into dash A. 6, B. 8, C. 2, D. 4. In this question, the correct answer is C. 2. So based on the reaction of bacterial cells to gram-stain, bacteria are classified into two. We have what we call gram-positive bacteria and we have what we call gram-negative bacteria. So studies have shown that when bacteria are stained with what we call gram-stain, this gram-stain will differentiate bacteria into two types. And that's why we have the gram-positive bacteria and the gram-negative bacteria. Studies have shown that bacterial cells have a cell wall, and in this cell wall, or the cell walls of bacteria contain what we call peptidoglycans, which is a compound found in the cell wall of this bacteria. So when bacteria are stained, or when bacterial cells are stained with gram-stain, they will react differently to the gram-stain due to the fact that we have two classes of bacteria based on this gram-stain. So generally, all bacteria are classified into two based on the reaction, or based on the reaction of their cells to gram-stain. The next question says, an experiment showed the presence of flagella in bacteria. The flagella are beneficial to them in dash A. Excretion, B. Movement, C. Hemolysis, D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is B. Movement. So the presence of flagella in bacteria help them to move from one place to another. So in an experiment that showed the presence of flagella in bacteria, the flagella are beneficial to those bacteria in the area of movement. Those flagella help the bacteria to move from one place to another. So they are organelles that are highly beneficial, or that enhance movement in bacteria. The next question says, the type of reproduction common in bacteria is dash A. Binary fission, B. Fragmentation, C. Vegetative propagation, D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Binary fission. Binary fission is a type of asexual reproduction whereby a cell of an organism divides into two, leading to production of two daughter cells that are genetically the same. So this binary fission is a type of reproduction common in many microorganisms, especially bacteria, and this type of reproduction called binary fission is a fast means of asexual reproduction. So a lot of bacteria reproduce through this process known as binary fission. So it is the commonest form of reproduction in many bacteria. The next question says, the medications used to control bacterial infections in the body system are called dash A. Antibiotics, B. Antiviral medications, C. Antifungal medications, D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Antibiotics. Antibiotics are medications used to control bacterial infections in the body system. These medications called antibiotics have the ability of killing bacteria. So they can kill bacteria and destroy the growth of bacteria. So the medications used to kill bacteria and have control over infections caused by bacteria in the body system are called antibiotics. There are different antibiotics. Some antibiotics kill bacteria in human beings. Some antibiotics kill bacteria in animals. So generally, all medications that have the ability of controlling bacterial growth or infections in the body system are called antibiotics. The next question says, the excessive use of antibiotics results in dash to the antibiotics. A. Bacteria resistance. B. Bacteria with high susceptibility. C. All of the above. D. None of the above. In this question, the correct answer is A. Bacteria resistant to the antibiotics. Research have shown that when there is excessive use of antibiotics to treat a particular bacterial disease or infection, they will reach a point when these bacteria will modify their genes against these drugs called antibiotics, and that will lead to what we call bacterial resistance. Bacterial resistance is a situation whereby bacteria modify their genes against these antibiotics in such a way that these antibiotics will no longer kill them again, will no longer control them again. And this bacterial resistance is one of the issues in health today, because when bacteria develop resistance against antibiotics made for them, they will not die in the body system of the host that they are suffering or they are causing one or two diseases in. So when they develop resistance against antibiotics, these antibiotics will not be able to kill them and flush them away from the body system. And in this situation, it can also affect the market value of those antibiotics, because if these antibiotics are no longer doing their job because of this bacterial resistance, it can discourage a pharmaceutical company producing particular antibiotics for controlling a particular bacterial disease. So the excessive use of antibiotics results in bacterial resistance. If this is the first time you are watching our video, if this is the first time you are joining this channel, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel so that you can study other topics that we have treated in many of our videos. You can also make your comments in this video.